So I think I've heard them, and if they're at this bearing, that's not good because I need to try and outrun them then. Actually, it's not that bad now that I'm looking at the distance. We should be able to intercept them. But I did, like I said, they didn't go exactly the direction that the game said they were going. So I'm going to try something here. I'm going to send a contact report. I don't think it worked previously because I was too far from home. But like I said, one of the mods says that if you send a contact report, BDU should give you orders. But we'll see about that. We'll see if they actually do. It's probably going to take about an hour to hear back. 'Cause it's got to be relayed and all that bullshit. Bullshit. Going along at a fair clip. This wasn't actually very long after I hit this guy. I just did a dive to make sure there was nothing else in the area. But sure enough, there was. And so far, I'm not getting a response. And I'm wondering why. Let's see what my messages look like. Oh, they're not appearing. Well, ain't that a daisy? Okay, whatever. We're just not going to worry about that then. I am going to go ahead and engage this convoy with my last torpedo, though, so... No matter what Dunitz says. It took me a while to remember Dunitz's name. That's kind of bad. You don't want to do that in front of him. Admiral, you... Admiral Buddy. Alright, let's see if we can hear them now. And again, we're a little slow on the upswing there, so I'm going to go ahead and take matters into my own hands. Ah. There we be. Very loud, too. We should possibly even be in visual range. Let's take a look. It's freaking me out miserably with this mod working the way that it is, where it's not giving me updates in a timely fashion. I don't see anything, but they could still be a fair distance away. So let's listen. There we are. And I think what I'm going to do then, since it does look like they're going to head right for me, I'm going to go ahead and proceed along the course that I'm on. Just assume for a second, though, that they're moving in a different direction. Are they turning? Well, I'll be dipped in shit and rolled in peanuts. They are turning. So we might have to... Yeah, they probably very smartly changed course after they heard the agonized screams of their comrades. Let's move this way. Get on the surface while we're at it. And also notch that a little bit further to the south because we don't want to run into them like that. Like I've been showing you guys how not to intercept a convoy. You don't want to run into them sidelong like I've been doing. You want to run into them ahead of them. Just sprint ahead a little bit. We're going twice as fast as them, which is good. Okie dokie. Good. Just dive. I'm going to go ahead and take a listen. Oh wait, they should be this area. There they are. This is probably good. What I'm going to do now is put us up here on the surface. Now that we're up, increase speed. Keep our eyes open because they should be coming into visual range any minute now, especially the lead, which would be bad. Just keep going for a little ways longer. And do a dive. Survey says, show me potato salad. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that they're heading on the bearing that I think that they are. They're not. They're going actually a little bit west-northwest, so here we go again. No, they're actually heading about west. I take that back. It looks a little bit deceptive sometimes. This is a huge convoy, incidentally. I'm going to go ahead and go on the surface for a wee bit. Probably go to this point right here. And slow it down. Periscope depth. God damn you, sir. God damn you and your slow ears. Okay. So let's turn to the south. Because we are rapidly approaching them. Whoa, 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 whoa. So they should just come right along here, hopefully. Let's just wait and see. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Okay, so we're just going to keep backing up. Pointed south. We're just going to keep getting contact updates this whole period of time. And they do seem almost like they are heading a little bit west-northwest, but I think that it's not going to make much of a difference. So we're just going to keep backing up a little bit. Alright, okay, slow it down. Now we're going to take a look with the periscope. It should be off over here. There's a destroyer over there, according to the game's instant identification system. There we go. There's a contact. That is an Empire freighter. That's another Empire freighter. That's a large merchant. Do we have anything else? Well, you know, we can afford to actually keep going for a little bit because this looks like the leading elements of the convoy. There's another one off in the distance. So yeah, why don't we wait until... I mean, at the worst, we're going to be able to get a shot off on one of these guys, so that's not a problem. We're just going to keep going then. And we are right in between this... Oh, hey. What are you doing? I was going to say we're right in between this destroyer and the rest of the convoy, but he's sprinting back. I don't know what that means. Go silent, please. I would love to be able to play, not that anybody asked, I would love to be able to play with the contact feature, or the contact update feature, disabled. Simply because I do feel like it does grant you some unfair advantages, but the disadvantages that you get from playing without it on are profound. They're they're ridiculous. Where is that guy? He's right there, so I'm going to stop. A little bit nervous about this, but get a quick little peek at him. Right there. It's dark out, so hopefully he can't see us. So there's one of the Empire freighters. Empire freighter. Blurry, can't see shit. Tanker. Were that I was on the other side of the convoy. And there's another one, but it's probably Panamanian again. Knowing my luck. Alright, I don't see anything else. So, Empire Freighter is looking like a pretty decent target here. Except for you, you're freaking me out. I don't like having you around. Maybe we'll take a shot I like the angle that this guy is at, so I'm going to go ahead and put my scope down while I ID him. There's no sense in having the scope up while you're thumbing through here. Okay. Especially with a destroyer that is, like, literally right on you. A little bit dangerous. Lock that in. Draft to 7. I'll have to remember that. It's a good range, actually. I'm really having a hard time getting his AOB, although it does look like he's slightly ahead of us. So we're going to notch that in. What's the speed I've got set to? 0. That's not going to work. Okay, we should get a good speed rating out of this guy. Bada bing. 8 knots. Okay, I like it. So we're going to set this to 8. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. Just the shade over that. Open tube. Fire. Move ahead. And dive. Now, I don't know what kind of seas we're in. Oh, yeah, we're in the really deep part of the Atlantic, so that's okay. Okie doke. Shots away. Look out teeth, look out gums. Look out liver, here she comes. And I can actually see this time. So that's good. I should have probably taken a look at the destroyer, but meh. So that's our last torpedo. Let's just look at the rest of the convoy real quick. That might be an ammo ship there. No. That's a tanker. I would have been very distraught if I'd missed a shot on him. This is a pretty lovely convoy, though. Unfortunately, we basically have no interest in it. We have one torpedo that we can use, so it's really not optimal. Now, I'll see if I can find my torpedo again. Where'd you go? Hello? Torpedo? Housekeeping? You need torpedo? Want me fluff your pillow? Want me sink your Empire freighter? Whatever. Let's just look on here. Did my sound officer go deaf or something? Because it looks like he lost contact here. We'll just look on the surface and see if we can see anything go off. Should be right around here. Come on. I don't see any wake. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's going to hit. It's a very thin line on the water there. It's going to hit it right in the front, and that's not good. But we are quite deep now, so that's something. What we're going to have to hope is that he either just sinks after a while, or that we can somehow disable his armament. I mean, it's not really a secret he's got a giant gun there. They almost always do at this point, so we're not really blowing anybody's mind there, I hope. Alright, so we're silent, and I don't think that they're going to have a chance in hell of finding us. So we're just continuing to gain depth. Yes! That is awesome! One torpedo. That's great. It took it a while, but it is definitely going down. We actually had to speed up quite a bit with the time compression there, but we managed to get off one shot and managed to sink one more ship for about 6,000 tons. That's spectacular. I'm pretty satisfied with that as being a conclusion to our patrol and our, well, at least a conclusion to our use of torpedoes. So let's see. that must have been about maybe 15 minutes in between when it was hit and when it started to go down, so that's not bad. That was actually not a bad hit. It didn't look too impressive, but a hit's a hit. And you can see there's actually some oil slicks coming up onto the surface. That's just a really nice touch. I think that's pretty cool. Pretty sweet, you guys. Are these guys Panamanian, incidentally? No. God damn it. Oh, well. I didn't really have any way of knowing. Okay, well, we're nice and deep. I don't think we're going to get pursued. So we're just going to continue on our merry way on towards France. If we run into more traffic that I can sink with my gun, I will happily use the gun, but probably won't. So we're going to basically lay in a beeline for France at this point. I seem to be hearing something. We were merrily plodding along back home, and I did a dive, and I've taken to manning the hydrophone station myself for a little while. Just because, well, I've been noticing that sometimes I hear things that my hydrophone officer doesn't necessarily announce. There's definitely a contact over here. And it's weird because I think it was a lot stronger when I initially heard it. So I guess I'm learning the hydrophone trade. And not doing a particularly good job at it, but who's on Ooh, we're getting some slowdown too, because that could mean that there is a convoy in the area. Victor, can you? Thank you. So that would be it. It's apparently moving. Ah, it is a convoy. Can't really do anything with it. I have no torpedoes. Are we getting any warship contacts, though? Yeah. Okay. That's a shame. Well, tell you what. Go on the surface and see if I can send a contact report and just return to course. If it was a single contact, I would love to go shoot at it with the deck gun, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to do that. So, oh well, we're just going to keep going home. So here's one of very few interesting radio messages that we'll get through the course of the game. Thanks to my command of the French language, I can tell you what it means. It says, Operation Berlin begins. The cruisers Scharnhorst and Gneisenau leave Kiel for a raid in the Atlantic. All U-boats must be ready to lend them aid. So, or help them. So basically what this was a commerce raid, and Operation Berlin was basically, as you saw, or as I said, the cruisers Scharnhorst and Gneisenau go north of Great Britain through the Denmark Strait, past Greenland and into the Atlantic to basically wreck some convoys. I think just looked at my phone to see what the end result was, and they sank or captured 22 ships, basically unhindered and without serious confrontation. They were commanded specifically to not engage British capital ships, which had been warned that the ships would be leaving. Initially, the British thought that they would go through the Faroe Strait between the Faroe Islands and Great Britain, but they actually even went further north than that and kind of jogged down from there into the Atlantic and caused a lot of havoc. Really, the British naval tactics were based on non-confrontation with the British Navy, because obviously the British Navy was huge. They had dozens of battleships. The German battleship complement was about 5 or 6, something like that at its best. So it really was a disproportionate engagement. So the Germans recognized that they needed to do things like this in order to win. But they didn't do it enough and successfully enough to win, obviously, and so they had to rely more and more on their U-boats, which is what this game is about. So it all ties together. Where are we now? We are just off the coast of Brittany, so we're about to head home. We've had no further contacts worthy of mention. Well, any contact would be worthy of mention, I guess. So we're just going to keep toddling on home. We're home, thank goodness, and I managed to park this thing decently well, so that's something. Do I get any points for that? Do I get any tons? I guess I would have gotten some tonnage if I'd, run into this thing here, but... So anyways, we're home after what I would consider to be a fairly successful patrol, despite the fact that we had a little bit of a rocky start, but about to pull into our pen here, and all is well. Everybody's happy and healthy and ill-dressed, but otherwise none the worse for wear. Wear. Alright, well, let's see if I can actually dock this thing correctly. See if I can get us to actually come to a complete stop here before running into the back of this thing. It's looking pretty good. It's a delicate maneuver, Not everybody can do this. And I think we've got it. Yeah, I'm not going to bore you guys with any more of that shit. Okay, let's exit the patrol. Wow, I didn't know it was that many tons. 51,359. A very successful patrol. Let's dock. And we've got... Oh, I've been awarded the German Cross, the fried egg. That's wonderful. And that makes no sense right there. The hull integrity 100 is unbelievable. That doesn't make any sense. Because when we were sailing around, you may have seen that there was a section of hull that was constantly yellow. That usually indicates that there has been hull damage that you can't repair. At least while you're at sea. So I don't know why that total is like that. I don't agree with that. But the only net effect of this would be to make our stay in port longer. I can fiddle with that via Silent Hunter 3 Commander, so I think I will do that, honestly, because that's ridiculous. But 51,359 tons. Got a bunch of renown, and we get to see her again. Anyways, let's get away from that screen before I get myself into real trouble. Let's look at our medals. See, here's the fried egg, the German Cross. I don't think that this really existed up until like 1942 or something, but whatever. We'll take it. We've got every medal in the game at this point, so hurrah. So, the mods performed really well. I'm pretty happy with that part of the game. We will be making some changes this patrol, though. Or this next patrol. So I think I'll leave that. I think I'll just leave that as an unanswered question as to what those changes will be. I know what they are, of course, but an unanswered question for you. Did that really need to be, embellished upon? Probably not. So that's the end of Patrol 12. We're on to Unlucky Patrol number 13 in our next episode. And in the meantime, between episodes, if you're interested in joining the crew, please let me know via a comment or a direct message or via semaphore or whatever you like to use. I'm Effing Controller, and this has been another patrol in Silent Hunter 3 with a shitload of mods. I'll catch you guys later.